still remember the day I left home. The day I finally decided I'd had enough of their doubts, their sneers, and their relentless, crushing disbelief. I was just 25 then, young, fueled by a dream so wild, so impossible to most, that it felt like I was trying to grasp at the stars with my bare hands. But I knew in my bones that I was destined for something bigger. They called me a fool, an idealist, a naive girl chasing fairy tales. They said I'd fail, that I was an embarrassment to the family. And honestly, I believed them, but I also believed in myself. My focus was astrophysics and eco-engineering, the kind of combination that made most experts scoff. I wanted to create sustainable space habitats, off-world communities that could thrive without draining Earth's resources. A new frontier for humanity's survival. It sounded crazy, I know, but I had a vision, a place where human life could flourish among the stars, a sanctuary built from the principles of harmony with nature. I poured everything into it. Late nights, sacrifices, risking everything on a dream that many dismissed as science fiction. But then came the betrayal. A close colleague, someone I'd trusted, stole my NASA project, my blueprint for sustainable space habitats, claimed it as their own, and used it to win funding, recognition, even praise. The day I found out, I felt a cold knife twist in my gut. My ideas, my work, stolen and paraded as someone else's triumph. The shame, the humiliation, it was a blow so brutal I wanted to disappear. My family's words echoed in my ears. You're wasting your time. You're never going to make it. You're just a dreamer with no real talent. I was an embarrassment, a failure in their eyes. I could have crumbled. I could have let their words drown me. But something inside refused to die. I realized that if I stayed, I'd be buried under their doubts forever. So I left. I abandoned the familiar chaos of home and threw myself into a different path, one that no one understood, one that was rooted in ecological innovation and space technology. I dedicated myself to designing eco-friendly habitats that could sustain life beyond Earth. The journey was brutal. I faced skepticism from every corner, experts who told me I was chasing pipe dreams, investors who laughed at the idea of another naive girl, setbacks that nearly broke me. There were moments I wanted to give up, to crawl back home defeated. But I remembered what I was fighting for. A future where humanity could survive, thrive, and respect the universe that nurtured us. I refused to let their dismissiveness define me. Years passed. I worked tirelessly, pushing boundaries, developing prototypes, testing concepts. Slowly, the impossible started to become reality. My designs for off-world ecosystems proved resilient. I built the first fully sustainable space habitat, an interconnected network of modules that mimicked Earth's ecosystems, recycling everything, harnessing solar energy, cultivating food, supporting life in the harsh vacuum of space. It was a monumental achievement, one that fundamentally challenged the old paradigm of rocket-centric exploration. And then, the day came when I returned home, not as a failure, but as a pioneer. I had transformed barren lands into lush, thriving ecosystems, proof that sustainable design and resilience could flourish even on Earth. I had turned what was once dismissed as a naive dream into tangible, groundbreaking success. The house was exactly as I remembered, familiar, yet suffocating with its unspoken judgments. My parents, my siblings, all gathered in the living room, their faces a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. I stood there, confident and unshaken, knowing that the moment of truth had arrived. I took a deep breath and stepped outside, where the land I had transformed stretched before us. The soil, once cracked and lifeless, now teemed with wildflowers and green shoots pushing through. Trees towered, their leaves whispering stories of I had built a living testament to my vision, a microcosm of sustainability, born from the very principles I had fought so hard to prove. Then I turned back to them, my voice steady and clear. This is what I've created. It's real, it's possible, and it's only the beginning. Their faces fell silent. My father, who once scorned my ideas, looked away, eyes glistening. My sister's jaw tightened. My mother's hand trembled slightly, an unspoken acknowledgement of all the years they doubted me, all the times they labeled me a fool. But I wasn't there to rub it in. I was there to show them that their doubts had been the fuel that propelled me forward, that betrayal, pain, and rejection had carved out a deeper strength within me, an unbreakable resolve to prove that dreams rooted in purpose and perseverance can indeed reshape worlds. And as I watched their reactions, I realized something profound. Success isn't just about achieving what others say is impossible. It's about holding on to your truth in the face of their doubts and transforming that pain into power. It's about turning betrayal into a catalyst for greatness. I looked at them and said, "You thought I was wasting my time. You thought I was an embarrassment. But I've built something that will outlast all of us. A legacy of hope, resilience, and change. Maybe now you'll see that the impossible isn't so impossible after all." A long silence followed. Then my father stepped forward. A look I'd never seen before. Part pride, part regret. "I was wrong," he admitted softly. "You weren't just dreaming. You were building a future." And that moment, standing amidst the lush life I'd cultivated, knowing I had finally earned their respect, felt like the universe itself was whispering, "Sometimes it's only after you're battered, mocked, and betrayed that you truly understand your own worth. That's when you realize your dreams aren't just for you. They're for everyone who dares to believe." I left that day knowing I'd done what I set out to do. I had turned the ridiculous into the revolutionary. I had proved that resilience, faith, and relentless pursuit can transform even the most barren land, whether it's a physical place or the doubts of those closest to us. And in the end, that's the real victory, not just the success, but the understanding that sometimes you have to fight through rejection to find your true home, inside yourself, where your dreams are finally free to flourish.